At the Faceoff X, it's Sean Dow for Lehigh, 57% on the season, against Logan Callahan, 53%. Hopkins jumped early, Lehigh ball, and we're going to see a patient, methodical offense. They like to play deep into the shot clock, and they have a flat-out superstar, number 10 in Brown, Scott Cole. He was last season's Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year. First midfield comes on for Lehigh. Grant Rodney's got great speed, 22 in Brown. Now Dakota Ironman. This is Quinn Armstrong. Since he bumped down to attack for midfield, Lehigh has won all 5 games. Rodney down the alley, slips. Hunter Jaronski defending him. Ball pops out. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. And now the first touch for Scott Cole. Cole is Lehigh's all-time leader in goals.
And there's no double team for the Blue Jays.
One of Will Scudder's keys, win the possession battle, win time of possession. Dow wins the faceoff. That's an area where Lehigh has an advantage today.
Yeah, Hopkins has been
promoted. He told us one of his first calls was to Scott Cole. And on that call, he said, hey, buddy, I need you to be the leader. I need you to be a captain. And Cole has been on the field and off the field the heartbeat of this program. They call him Captain America.
3.9 GPA. No.
Will Scudder talked to us about his shot. It's the hardest shot on the team. That looked almost like a desperation shot. It would be in most cases as Dow wins another faceoff.
So you see why this is possible.
He has won every faceoff so far. Sun's been playing hide and seek most of the morning.
It's been
and we get a hold on Lehigh Hopkins ball.
From a temperature standpoint and air quality, it's low humidity, temperature 60. So Lehigh can run that first midfield exclusively today, and that's always an issue in May. Teams that are reliant on a single midfield.
Corner slugger for the Pirates, broadcaster for the Mets on Father's Day, one of the great lines. I'd like to wish all the dads out there a happy birthday on this Father's Day.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. Sponsored that post-game show by Ralph Kiner that I grew up watching. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the lacrosse moms.
Happy birthday.
The only thing Lehigh has done incorrectly here is they have 2 penalties. Sean Dow has been dominant winning faceoffs. I think he's won 5 of the 6 draws. The junior from South Carolina. He's got a good clamp and he can do the washout rake technique.
Tyler Dunn taking this face-off for Hopkins against Dow. Now the wings get involved. Dunn comes up with it, 40%. Now he lost it, out of bounds. This should say Hopkins ball.
How is that Hopkins ball?
And Armstrong not happy with the call.
Scudder's halfway onto the field, and that ball was checked out of the stick of the Hopkins player and rolled out of bounds. And unless it hit the Lehigh player as it was leaving the Hopkins player's stick. And now all of a sudden Hopkins threatening to pull away.
McDermott's 4th of the season. Face-off won by Lehigh. Torini off the ground. Now you talked about how the delays and the stoppages impact players, it impacts coaches, officials. Face-off won by Dunn. Punches it ahead. It's past McDermott. Ball on the ground. This is a big scrapper. We get a flag down as Degnan tumbled. And it looks like Hopkins will go man up.
Will Scudder now onto the field in front of the substitution box. And if your coach is this young coach, pro-level shooter with out of this galaxy velocity, you're just not stopping that.
3rd round pick in the PLL draft. 3 straight 40-goal seasons. And for his career, that's his 22nd man-up goal.
And they'll take you there.
Duke will play Maryland next week on Long Island. Homecoming for their head coach, John Danowski. Dunn has given Hopkins a bit of a spark at the face-off X. They just could not get away. There's Checo again, a human tempest.
Captain Chaos in the middle of the field. Jays will stat that as a face-off win. And I agree with you. The change there in the Fogos has made matchup, sets up everything. Dow, 25 from Lehigh, good clamp, but he's got the washout move where he can bring it backwards. He rakes it back effectively. Let's see what he goes to.
Dow, 3 out of 5. Dow's 8 out of 12. Dunn, 3 out of 5.
And that's the backwards move that he has.
Freddie Amato, senior from Florida, Jacksonville area.
Double team, well, they'll send the double and force the ball out of your stick, but Grant Rodney able to re-trigger right-handed.
All 5 goals unassisted for Lehigh. We get a push. It's on Hopkins, and it's Lehigh ball.
That's typical of Lehigh. As we talked about, they're not a great passing team. They do score a lot of unassisted goals. The challenge for Hopkins is to make them passers. You got to make this Lehigh team doesn't mess around.
Last year, he authored one of the highest scoring seasons for a Hopkins freshman midfielder ever. Only Joel Tinney and Del Dressel scored more goals as a freshman midfielder than Matt Collison a season ago.
Think about your matchups if you're Lehigh. You're not putting the pole on Collison, and if that's the case, you better be more double ready. You better be more support ready.
Amato to Cole, danger.
Pecora's a righty. I'm going offside low with the bouncer, and he makes it pay.
Dow wins this one from Dunn. Q as a goalie.
Well,
playing in the rain.
You know, what I didn't like was when your jersey, your sweats, your gloves, your feet get waterlogged, and they actually get heavier. Like, the goal is to be fast, and to be fast, you need to be light. And when you get water-sogged, so on a day like today, I try to change my sweats up, or my gloves up as much as possible to play with dry equipment.
Cole has Avilas, gives it up to Kelly. Carson Brown on him, and comes back to Cole.
In that last defensive possession, Lehigh needed a second slide. It's one thing to double Bauer, then you got to rotate upfield and find Peshko.
Hopkins has done a superb job on Cole. Ironman turned away.
Ironman's got shake, left-handed.
Avila's a good athlete. Ironman got free, but he had everything but the ball. And Kilrain vacuums off the ground.
Smith with the double team. He's a fierce checker. I tell you, he gets, when Scott Smith lands a check, you're either in pain or that of his kids.
Yeah.
On our conference call this week. Playing around the office.
They blew the horn on that last TV timeout, which you don't hear often. And when they've blown the horn today, it's meant a stoppage. So thankfully, just a TV timeout. Jacob Angelus has given the Blue Jays the biggest. There's Dunn. He's been taking the majority of the face-offs,
you know,
since the first quarter.
Yeah, it's a decent little 1-2 punch. You know, Hopkins' numbers at the face-off X are going to be vulnerable. They advance, they'll play Virginia. Remember, the first time they call him Captain America.
Baltimore area kid originally before his family moved to Texas. Dow plays this back to Pecora. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. And one more Lehigh goal, they would erase this 3-goal deficit. It was once 8-5 and draw even. And Quint, it's the same rules in lacrosse as it is in basketball. First round of the NCAA tournament. The longer the underdog hangs around, pressure shifts to the favorite.
Is this Hopkins program back? Well, you lose a home first-round playoff game, you're not back. You lose in the quarterfinals, you're not back.
Seeking its first NCAA tournament win in program history, Johns Hopkins 2 wins away from trying to get back to championship weekend for the first time in almost a decade. Anish Shroff, Quint Kesnick, Mountain Hawks have been pesky. They've controlled the tempo most of this game. It's been a slow, methodical game. Not a ton of unsettled scramble situations. It looked like in that third quarter, the Blue Jays were on the verge of pulling away. They went up 8-5. Lehigh responded with 2 goals to get it to 8-7 fourth quarter in what is so far the first close game of this 2024 NCAA tournament. Quint Kesnick and Anish Shroff, what do these final 15 minutes come down to?
Take effect.
This is a Lehigh team, as we said way back at the very beginning of the broadcast 3 days ago. This is the team that plays with fire and kicks the hornet's nest. They've been in so many of these close games. 10 games decided by 1 or 2 goals. They're 8-2, 5-0 in 1-goal games this season. Violation on Dow. Hopkins ball, chance to tie.
You feel the tension. There's still 10 minutes to play. But every possession as Garrett Degnan has ever scored.
Off the face-off win, Dunn to the wing. Raposo, Pecora goes down and makes the save. Will Scudder told us the scouting report on and off throughout the afternoon. 10-9 Lehigh. Dunn slips on the wet turf, lost the ball. And they're going to say that's on Lehigh. Hopkins gets it back. 6.5 to play, plenty of time.
Collis to the rack with conviction.
We are tied for the 6th time today. Rain continues to pepper historic Homewood. Five out of 6. Dunn and Dow in the rain. Dunn wins, exits clean. 6 face-offs won consecutively for the Blue Jays.
He's getting it done. Senior out of Calvert Hall, a scrappy competitor. He's known as a really good complement to Callahan. Pecora is out covering an attackman. So an aggressive strategy, I don't mind the 10-man, but there's got to be ball pressure with it.
And Dunn continues to get the better of Dow. Checo, though, from the wing. It's knocked out of bounds. Last touch, Lehigh. Hopkins has the ball, 3:03 to go. A 2-goal lead for the Blue Jays. That goes as a face-off win for the Blue Jays. That's 7 in a row, and now you expect Johns Hopkins to squeeze the ball and play the clock.
And Lehigh's got to stretch and start playing the ball a little more aggressively on the perimeter.
Especially in this 4th quarter. Remember, he set up Collison for the go-ahead goal. Dow wins a face-off, and now urgency for Lehigh. Ironman out of the box. Back to Cole. This is now Lehigh out of its comfort.